Guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be diving deep into Lord of the Mysteries Volume 2. If you watched my last video, you already know how insane the first volume was, filled with mystery, intrigue, and eldritch or horror, and of course, the introduction of Klein Moretti into the world of Beyonders. But Volume 2, it takes everything up a notch, more lore, more danger, and more mind-blowing revelations. So let's talk about it today. If Volume 1 was about world building and setting the stage, then Volume 2 is about raising the stakes. The church's secret organizations, hidden forces, and pulling the string. Everything is more intense. The pacing is a little bit better than the last volume, but which is a huge improvement from the volume first. As the common consensus is that volume one's pacing could have been better due to the info dumps and such. However, I will be talking about my general impressions about it. The biggest pros of Lord of the Mysteries is the world building and the atmosphere that it builds. The mix of Lovecraftian horror, 19th century steampunk, and political intrigue is still very much there, and in Volume 2 as well, which pushes the horror even further. So much so that there were multiple moments where I had to pause and just take in what I had read because the tension was just so thick. uh, Moving on to character growth, I talked about this in volume 1 in my last video, that Klein as a character was a bit hard to get along with because of the goals he had. We did not connect with the goals he had, but in volume 2, our boy is evolving mentally, physically, and supernaturally, all three ways. He's much more interesting as a character, since the goal that he has now, sorry for the spoilers, killing Ince Zangwell for killing Dunn and everyone that died, especially Dunn, is much more connected to the readers, since throughout volume 1 we grew to care about the Nighthawks and everyone that died. So that's why I think the goal is much more connected to us. But what's really compelling is how the weight of his action starts to press down on him. The more he learns about the world, the more he realizes how small he is in the grand scheme of things. Another thing I didn't mention, I think last video, was his interactions with the Tarot Club and the characters. I think I talked. I don't remember. It has been a long time since I posted the last video, but the tarot clubs are still continue to be the highlight of the book. Like, I actually actively am excited for the next tarot club meetings, and each character is very interesting in their order. Although I do have some things to say about some characters that were introduced this time. As I said before, one of the biggest pros and strengths of Lord of the Mysteries is its world building and lore. If Volume 1, if you thought Volume 1 gave us a lot to chew on about, Volume 2 is Hold My Monocle. That's a reference if anyone has read LOTM. A bit of a spoiler, but the hidden powers are much more fleshed out this time uh, through the Roselle's diary. Although I do still feel that he shouldn't have gotten Roselle's diary so easily, since a lot of it does get some things cut some tension in half, which could have been made much more interesting. However, those diaries are still much more fun to read about whenever he's reading it. The author, the Cuttlefish, weaves these details into the story without them too boring. The diary entries are interesting, if I have to say that. As much as I love this volume, it's not perfect. As I have said, I have some things that felt a bit out of there, like the two new characters, not new characters, but still characters that were introduced, Forz and Joe. I still I feel they aren't as interesting as much the POV they have gotten. uh, how much POV we have gotten of them, they don't aren't as interesting as Derek, Alger, or Audrey currently, and that's why I believe that we shouldn't have been getting their POVs this early. As I have read ahead, but still, it does feel like the POVs they have gotten in Volume 2 shouldn't have been given to them. Maybe other people should be given much more. So we could have gotten much more fleshed out for second Lands of the Gods. However, overall, Volume 2 is a phenomenal continuation of the of Volume 1, which makes the tension higher and the lore deeper, and makes Klein's journey much more compelling, in my opinion. If you actually like the first volume, then you would love the second volume as well. I would give uh, Lord of the Mysteries Volume to a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. It's good, but there were still some things that they could made better. What do you think? Did anything completely blow your mind? Comment down below.